things that I did in college carries on to professional. Things I did in professional carry me on even right now. From when I was working with the government or working at Texas Southern University. So many people come into your lives, so many people, the relationships that you have helps me even today. I would never think that working for the government had anything to do with the NFL. I never think that working at Texas Southern University have anything to do with the NFL or even the government. So these things are all aligned, and it comes with relationships and the things that you do. You need to take advantage of it, especially about. I'm big on respect and relationships. So just need to make sure that you just do the right thing, and that's something my coach always told me: do the right thing. Coach Bill Snyder, do the right thing, do the right thing. And what I say is, what he mean by do the right thing is basically just respecting the individual, always having respect, and always doing something that can help somebody else. So.
So we have a question in the audience.
Yes, ma'am, I'm back. Pastor Hendricks is a wonderful pastor, and he teaches us a lot about everyday life. And one of the things that he really wants to impress on the teens is sometimes you have to cut some ties. Mm-hmm. And in the decision making that everybody's been talking about, our kids are buckling under peer pressure. So I just wanted to hear some feedback on when you need to cut the ties with your homies, with your posse, with your so-called friends, and know when you need to do that.
Wow, that's good. That's a good question.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a high school head football coach, and I have that same conversation with a lot of my athletes. It's a true statement. You are gonna be judged by the company that you keep. If you want to be successful at anything, hang around good people, successful people. But if you have a tendency to want to hang around the wrong elements, guess what? You're going to turn out just like them. Yeah. I guess I can kind of equate it to somebody said one time, you know what, man? Hey, if a person doesn't want to drink, they don't need to hang out with me. Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, it's the truth. I mean, if you hang around people doing the wrong stuff, guess what? You're going to probably do some of the wrong stuff with them, even if you're a good kid. It's amazing how peer pressure pulls people down. At my school, I have 5 young men that used to be a part of my program that are all in prison for killing somebody. Okay? Yeah, at one point they were part of my program for killing somebody. You try to talk to them, hey man, listen, why you keep hanging around these kids? Why you don't hang around your teammates? You're always around these other kids. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. If you wanna be good at something, you wanna be successful, hey, listen, you gotta cut out anything out of your life that doesn't mean you're any good. And that includes friends. Friends can pull you down faster than anything else. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is, mom and dad tell you right from wrong. And nobody here is 2 years old. So guess what? You gotta make good choices and make sure you hang around people that want the same and aspire for the same things you want in life.
Tiombi, because me and Tiombi, we actually grew up in the same neighborhood. So on the south side of Houston, you have 3rd Ward, Sunnyside, Hiram Clark, and South Park. So we grew up in Hiram Clark in GI. So in Glen Iris, we had so many different distractions.
It's so many different ways we could have gone.
Yes, indeed. So,
association definitely causes assimilation. So when you associate with people who are not doing the right thing, it doesn't matter if you were even saying we're gonna do the right thing. Everyone's going to associate you with wrong. It's nothing wrong with separating yourself. It's okay if you separate yourself. I have a freshman in high school right now, and she had to learn the hard way that she had to separate herself. You're gonna lose some people, but guess what? You gain so much more. Because people are also looking at you when you choose to step away. They see a lot in you. Doing the right thing is doing the right thing when no one is looking, because that's integrity. Not just doing the right thing when your teacher's watching you, not just doing the right thing when your coach is in the weight room, not just doing the right thing when your mom has her eyes. It's when all those people are not there, it's the choice that you make. What choice do you want to make? He's right. The neighborhood that we grew up in, there are a lot of people that were in that neighborhood with us that are not in the position that we were in, and we were all afforded the same opportunity. It's what you do with the opportunity that you're afforded. You're here today. You're in a church that provides opportunities. Stick to the people who provide opportunities, that open doors for you. And it's okay to say, I can't go this time. It's okay to not be at every event, because it's the things that you miss will help you gain a whole lot more.
Speaking to that, it was really hard for me at times to be able to say no, because I don't know if any of you out there, but I cared a lot when I was younger what other people thought of me. And I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be the fun person, part of the in crowd. I hung around a lot of young ladies that were considered popular. And, but at the same time, when I look back, they didn't have everything to lose that I had to lose, you know? So, I had a scholarship on the line. I had a starting spot at Baylor I didn't want to lose. So even when I got to college, it really got tough, because as we say, it's the things that you do when others are not looking. So you don't necessarily have your parents that are there all the time watching you. And what helped me is to be able to understand who I was as a person, who I wanted to be. My dad was like, your name is going to be carried throughout. The one thing people will know, they'll know your name. And when they say it, what are they going to associate with your name? And so I thought about that. And at times I did have to say no, that I couldn't go with y'all, couldn't go with that group. And like you said, with so much more that I gained at that time, where it was really hard because I wanted to go hang out. I wanted to go party. I knew I had 6 a.m. workouts. I couldn't do that. Certain things I couldn't put in my body because I had to perform. And so that's what I love, and that's why you all are so special, being student athletes, because it's your mindset. All of us up here have failed, have lost. Oh, y'all know what it feels like to lose? And then to have to look yourself, because in the mirror, and say, what is it about me that I'm gonna do to go back out there and compete, to go out there and be the best that I can? And so the student athlete mindset, or just being an athlete, that mindset transcends and it carries over into so many areas of your life. The lessons I learned as an athlete, I can't tell you how much I carry that into business, with my children, with relationships. And it really helps you understand who you are, your character, all that good stuff, because the largest or biggest opponent that I've ever had in my life was myself. It was me. And so I guess that was the one thing that was really important, is to understand who I was, and certain things that other people were doing, that just wasn't who I was.
Well, I'll start off by saying that I'm a firm believer in never forgetting where you come from, okay? But on the same note, never lose focus of where it is that you want to be. So whenever you're faced with a situation or an experience or something that comes up, you need to ask yourself, is this gonna benefit me to where it is that I am trying to go, where I want to be? If it's not, well, then you need to take a hard look at the decision that you're about to make. And I know more often than not, you're gonna make that bad decision. But at the same time, like we said earlier, those decisions do stick with you. So as long as you're mindful of that and you're okay with that, well then, hey, make your decision. But as you get older, those decisions are going to be more life-threatening than life-advancing. Right. And who here wants to have a good, positive, healthy, vibrant life?
Right.
Everybody here wants to raise their hand on that one, right?
Exactly.
But those decisions are what's going to help you get there. And so if your company that you're keeping around you are like they're doing all these things that you know, and we all know, right? We all know what we're supposed to be doing and what we're not supposed to be doing. So if the company that you keep around you are constantly, over and over, repeatedly doing the things that you know that they're not supposed to be doing, well then something inside of you should be like, okay, it's time for me to try to go a different direction. If they have such a stranglehold on you to keep you within that group, well then your mindset is not in the right place. And then your so-called dreams of, oh, I want to be successful, I want to do this, I want to be positive, you're just lying to yourself. So I'm like Tracy, you got to set realistic facts and goals. So you can say one thing and can repeatedly do another thing, And if that happens, well, then you're just lying to yourself. You got to tell yourself, okay, if this is what I want to do, I got to make a plan, I got to make it plain, and I got to follow that plan. And that sometimes entails leaving other people behind. But at the same time, you don't forget about those people because that was part of your upbringing. I grew up with lots of people that I should have probably been more successful than me. But, I mean, things played out differently, you know.
And that's a big thing that you said about, where you come from, because won't people tell you real quick, oh, you acting brand new. Oh, well, you used to. And so some things that I realized for people, even as I got older, was hard for some people to accept is change. But I swear that's the one thing that's inevitable. Yep. You will change because with growth comes about change. And so you don't have to associate yourself if you did do it. If you did it last week and you're not doing it this week, guess what? Mm-hmm. It's okay. Yeah. And so you have to embrace that growth, right?
Yeah. And I encourage everybody, I'm like an entrepreneur, so I'm into like business books and podcasts and all that stuff like that. And one constant thing is like your circle of 5. You take a hard look at the 5 people that you hang around, communicate with, associate with. Write those 5 people on a list, and you tell yourself, okay, is this group of 5 going to encourage me and boost me, or is this 5 going to drag me down, or make me stay stagnant? Growth is not stagnant. Stagnant is staying in one spot, being content with just whatever you have going on, and that's fine if that's the case, But a lot of you here want to grow to something more, right? So you got to look at the most people you hang around the most, your circle of 5, right? If you're the smartest person in that circle of 5, you don't have a good circle of 5. You want to have somebody that's going to challenge you, going to tell you when you're going to like basically put you in your place. You're going to look up to, you're going to respect. Those are the type of people that should be in your circle of 5.
Real quick, let me tell you how one decision, and LaMarcus will know exactly who I'm talking about. We were in high school, and there was a football player who was an excellent athlete. He was extremely smart. I want to say he was probably, I think he graduated after me. He was like salutatorian of his class. He made one decision to put a substance in his body that he shouldn't have, and it took his mind. Mm-hmm. All it takes is one choice. He chose to smoke what he thought was marijuana. It wasn't, and it took his whole mind. Now he walks the neighborhood and talks to himself. One decision can affect your entire rest of your life. So in that moment, you have to ask yourself, what am I willing to lose by making this choice? I tell my daughter that all the time. Before the action, think about what the consequence is going to be. If you're willing to suffer through that consequence, go right ahead. But know that with every action, there comes a consequence. And it may not come right then, but I guarantee you the consequence will come. And when it comes later, it often comes greater than what you actually expected it to be.
You go, girl. Give it up for the panelists, guys. Y'all doing a great job. My question is, as I look out and gaze the audience and see all of these awesome young people with lots of hormones and checking out the scene with a gangster lean, dating. We need some good feedback on what would you do differently? How could you encourage them? I was a former athlete. I played basketball. I didn't make all the right decisions in dating, and I ended up getting pregnant. Girl, I was trying to get to the WNBA. I was trying. But I didn't make all the right decisions. So as teenagers, dating is so in, and we just need to give them some positive encouragement on what we need to do to keep that balance and how we can still date, make the right decisions.
Good question. Since it's to my wife talking, I might as well respond first. Number one, it's like these pounds been, everybody's been touching all along. Hey, even when it comes to dating, I think the number one thing that young people do now is they try to grow up too fast. And everybody's hormones are raging. Everybody know it. But the thing is, too, just like that, hey, you can make one mistake in that deal, too, and you can be a parent the sooner you want to be. You can catch something, all that kind of stuff. I think that you got to take, number one, this is a church. Number one, they get up every Sunday, most Sundays, and they preach about things like this. I think you have to use your home training, which your parents have been telling you all the time, about saving yourself. It's kind of like I had a friend of mine, and she said, and this is I was a pro athlete, and she said, and she was a virgin. She was up in age a little bit. I guess she's probably around upper 20s. And so me being the pro athlete I was at the time, I'm like, well, man, I tell you, that is really amazing. How can you do that? That's got to be really tough. She said, Trace, you know what? You don't miss something you hadn't had. Now think about that now. If you never had it, you don't miss it.
Right.
I think, too, another thing, too, you got to be really smart. If you watch some of the videos that you guys they have on TV nowadays, I think you young people got to realize one thing, that stuff is staged now. Between smoking all the dope and all the sensual stuff you're seeing, hey, it's staged. Okay, staged. You got to be smart on what you look at. Because I'm going to tell you something else, too, that can poison your mind. It can put impure thoughts in your mind, so you got to be smart about that, too. Take your time, meet you somebody nice, protect yourself, and lean on God and your home training.
Nowhere. They not going nowhere. As long as it's earth, it's going to be a man and it's going to be a woman. They're not going anywhere. It's no need in rushing. And if they do go somewhere, they weren't meant to be with you in the first place. Like everybody wanted to go to college, and I was just so in love with my high school boyfriend. Oh my God, we're going to be together forever. I have not spoken to him since 19.
You just knew it was love.
It was love. Like it was love. You couldn't tell me it was not love. It was love. It was 1997 was the last time I spoke to him. I wished him well. I don't know what he doing. Good luck with that. Just know that there are going to be people who are put in place just to distract you. So again, it goes back to choices. Everything is about a choice. See, you thought you weren't going to use economics after high school. Economics, choice. Everything is about a choice that you make. So if the girl is telling you, well, if you don't be with me right now, then I'm leaving, well, bye. If he telling you, oh my goodness, like if you just this one, yeah, no. It'll be okay. If they're not on the same page and on the same path as you, then that means it's time to take a detour. You make a left turn and they make a right turn, everybody go on about their life. And then the right person will come along on the path. I look at LaMarcus and Amber. There is there are good stories about people who were together in high school, it is. However, there are also some bad ones. So for every good one, it's probably 5 bad ones. So just be you, stay to yourself, and the right person will come along. And it probably is not love right now. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's probably not love right now, okay?
Yes. I'm gonna tell you, parents, I'm talking to parents out here now. Talk to your children, talk to them. Talk to your young daughters and talk to your young sons the same type of way. Sometimes we're more honed in on the young lady. And then we have these young men these sons that these young ladies have to deal with. They're both precious, both of them. I'm gonna tell you on my drive up to Waco, my dad said, all the good stuff, we talk about waiting, we do all that stuff. And then he said, all right, now that you know that, you've raised in church, like, all that stuff. He was like, but then there's some other laws, the laws of the jungle. And he was like, so if you feel like there's a certain area you want to enter into, then there's some different rules that apply. And he had to give it to me straight. And sometimes it's a difficult conversation to have with the young people. Sometimes it's a little awkward for the child and for the parent or the guardian or whoever it is. but have those real conversations. Ask those burning questions that you want to know. Like you said, there's all these things that are available for us. If it's premarital sex, if it's drugs, if it's drinking, all this stuff, it's here. Y'all have access to it now. It's not just going off to college. The thing about it is that you may not have all these eyes on you, and with freedom, right? It's the freedom to be able to make these choices. And so that's why you're here, and that's why parents are talking, because what they're trying to do is equip you with the tools to be able to make the right decisions. Everyone keeps saying the decision. It's so impactful because no matter what it is, there's some type of consequence, whether it's positive or negative. An action, you get a reaction, right? There's something that's going to happen. So have these real talks. And if your parent hasn't talked to you about it yet, things that you want to know, go talk to them. Yes, go to somebody you trust, your pastor, people here in the church, and in a safe space where you can get the answers that you want to know. We have to talk about it, for sure.
So I've been trying to think what I can say on this. I have a different perspective. I mean, not necessarily like in a negative way, just as a male professional athlete, lots of things are thrown in your path.
Speak on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And those things that are thrown in your path aren't very difficult to, I guess, conquer, or what's the word? So, with that being said, as far as like dating, along the line, what was your name? Tian, what she said is that y'all are in high school, middle school, high school. It's not love right now, because it's just a little phase. It's something that you see every day, and you're comfortable, and that's your comfort zone. But when you get older and you experience the world, there's going to be so much out there. Now, moving forward, when you're out there, then that's when you need to make those wise decisions. Have someone that you can talk to, that can encourage you to help you make this proper decisions. I can say Pastor Hendricks was influential in myself getting married. When I got married, came as a surprise to me, but just. But I mean that was part of my circle of five. Hitting that again, I had somebody that I could trust, that I looked up to for information and things like that. So get you somebody that you can talk to. It could be your parents, it could be your pastor, it could be a counselor at the school, it could be somebody that's respectable, that makes good decisions, that can lead you in a way to help you go about when you're faced with a certain situation. Because majority of you are going to be put in situations that you're going to be like, okay, do I talk to this guy? Am I forced to talk to this guy, or am I forced to talk to this girl? Or is the person that I'm talking to forcing me to do something I don't want to do? Things like that. There's all types of situations that you can be put into that if you don't have any type of guidance or someone that you can like confide in, you'll be rushed or pressured into making the wrong situation. And like as we said earlier, those situations, they aren't just happening now, they will affect you for the rest of your life. Yeah. So.
And there's these young ladies, I see all these beautiful young ladies right here in front, to the side.
Basketball girls.
I love when we have a united front, when there's a mix of opinions that's coming from both the male and the female perspective. And I just want y'all to say, because I used to be like, oh my God, he loved me so much. He thought I was pretty. He talked about how cute I was. So you men up here, I mean, for real, let's be real. Y'all said things to your girlfriends and young ladies that made them swoon, made them feel real good. Did you feel like it was love, or you were saying?
I will tell you this right now. Majority of the time, young ladies, those boys are lying to your face.
Okay.
So,
But on the same token.
on the same note, young men, young kings out
not
there,
telling the
young
truth.
kings,
They don't.
Those ladies are telling you the same lies.
They telling the
Thank
same
you.
lie.
So-
That's why I said it's both sides of the coin.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
it is, okay, but at the same time, I want, because we want to be as real, as we can with you all, okay? So, I know there's a lot of top athletes in this room, and I know that some young ladies may be influenced because you guys are going to perform and go to the next level, so you may be a ticket out of Brazoria County, okay?
Hello.
Okay? No, I'm just being real now, okay? And so, I'm gonna let you know that my husband, too, had a child at 14 years old, okay? And so one of the things, hey, I'm just saying, we all trying to get out the hood now. And so the thing about it is, he had a child at 14, and that was a decision that he made. But at the same time, because he really was a good athlete. He was in the paper all the time. Females, and this in high school, he was my good friend. We did not date in high school, but he was my good friend. And so a lot of times I would hear a lot of the girls, and they called him Pretty Ricky.
They did.
They
did.
Tion be co-signing for me, y'all. And so, but I will tell you, although he did have a child that at 14, and we wound up raising that child, and he has gone on to college and done different things himself, but I will tell you, he did not let that one circumstance determine the rest of his life.
Taking the mic from her. Anyway, but put it like this. I'm gonna say this. Not all, like, I'm gonna be honest. I was a genuine guy, like,
Man,
for
stop
real.
it.
Like, I wasn't.
Stop.
Market.
Pretty Ricky, what they call me.
I'm
We're
gonna
all
say this.
genuine when we're trying to get something that we want.
Hello.
It's true.
But
That was
in
some
all,
candy, the ice cream. We're genuine.
Yes.
At that time.
At that time.
dang, KG. Okay, I'm gonna say this. 90% of the time, 85% of the time, young ladies, that's why 85%, because it's 15% out there. Okay, so 90% of the time, guys tell y'all things that y'all want to hear, but at the same time, I look at it like this. And young men, y'all peep this too. Young ladies peep this too. All right, when y'all go to the guy's house, or even y'all, if the guy don't introduce y'all to their parents, to the mom, then like, you just there for, you temporary. She say side piece, but you temporary. I'm giving y'all a game. Now listen to me now. So if he don't introduce you to his mom, or he only introduce you to his mom one time, because the mom can give him that eye that only him and mom understand, and you don't come around no more. And then you only there temporary. You understand? Because moms do play a part in this too now. Moms play a part in this too. So if you're a part of the family, then to me, I say, then you the girlfriend. But if you are not a part of the family, if he ain't inviting you to Thanksgiving dinners, if he ain't inviting you over for Christmas, you just temporary. You know what I'm saying? So he's just trying to get something out of you.
Ain't
or
no
whatever.
dates. It's just Netflix and chill.
Ain't nothing. They ain't take you to the movie theater. He only take you to the movie theaters during the daytime and not the nighttime. You know what I mean? So those things play a part. He ain't going to the games with you.
Take the mic.
He ain't going to the games with you or anything like that. But young men, same thing. So when y'all go to these young ladies' house, y'all make sure y'all get the opportunity to meet the parents, see how the parents are. Y'all need to see, man, where do daddy work? What is your relationship with daddy? Where does mama work? What is your relationship with mama? You know what I'm saying? So you want to check out the house. You need to see Look at the dishes. Can I go to the restroom right quick to look at the hall? Is it clean? All that. Because you don't want to end up having a relationship with somebody, then after that they come back to bite you. Where she looking to try to get child support out you. So check out the whole scenery. More likely if mom and dad working and they have good jobs and they doing what they're supposed to do, she's not really trying to get as much out of you that she really, you understand? So I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm keeping it real.
Take the mic.
Take the mic,
I'm
Amber.
sorry, y'all.
Take the mic.
I think it's something else too. She touched on something, she said love, but I'm gonna talk about the one that's dangerous. Passion. Let me explain what passion is. How many people seen like when NASA sends a rocket off, that rocket takes off and all them cables break loose and you see a big ball of fire? Passion is when your brain cables disconnect and you make decisions that, you know what? Mom and I'm not here. Dad and I'm not here. Hey, won't you come over? Or I can't wait till I look under my door and see that light go off and I'm fixing to get out of Dodge and go out the window, else open the window and let them in. That's passion. Passion is dangerous. Now, whether your parents want to admit this or not, we've all been through passion,
Yes.
Right?
okay?
Right.
When I went through my passion, guess what? I had 2 kids. 2 kids and I wasn't married to either one of the moms. Okay, that was passion. Now, I love my kids to death, but you got to make sure you can distinguish between love and passion. When in the heat of passion, you don't make the right choices. I'm gonna tell you that right up front. If you find to have a tendency to realize I'm doing something I know better I shouldn't do, that's passion. So just know the difference between the two.
Good. Okay, we'll take one question, and we have one more question for
morning.
the panel, and then we'll probably need to start wrapping up because we're gonna have a live performance by Jonah. He's in the building, people, yeah.
Good morning. I just wanted, for a lot of our athletes, they see the flashiness of the TV and different stuff like that. Can you guys talk for a quick second on finances as far as how you manage your money to get, because they see the sign-on bonuses of the $1 million, you know, with the different athletes and stuff, but they don't necessarily understand that you have to manage that right to have longevity. Can y'all speak to that?
You talking about my signing bonus for the WNBA?
And I kind of want to tie this into the about social media too as well. So we're gonna tie this in together with social media and the signing bonus and people on social media talking about how much money they really have
And how much they don't have.
how much they don't have. So
It's
we
all
tie
cap.
that
It's all
into
cap.
one.
It's all cap. So from a football standpoint, when you see that a guy signs for X million amount of dollars, a lot of that is not guaranteed. You get depending on if you're like a veteran and you're a free agent, you'll maybe get like, a guaranteed signing bonus. Your signing bonus is pretty much, for the most part, you're only guaranteed money. If you're like a collegiate athlete coming into the league and you get drafted, the higher rounds get more amount of money for their signing bonuses. Those are guaranteed. Those actual like contracts where you see all the millions of dollars are not guaranteed. They have to actually earn those, and then you don't get those all up front. Those are over your 16 game season. So that all season you're not earning any money. So you have to be smart with your money. Are you investing in that properly? Are you blowing it on jewelry that's not real, that depreciates and does not appreciate, on cars that depreciate? Or are you being smart with that, investing that money, opening businesses, getting into real estate, things like that? Those are the classes that I believe that should be in the high schools now, where they're teaching you how to life skills. I went through that phase. I had the chains, I had the bracelet, the watches, the rings. I still wear some fake. These are fake, by the way. They're not real. But at a point in time, I did spend the money to have the real earrings. But I know now that all that is to impress somebody else. And who am I trying to impress? When I die, what's going to happen with that? So don't waste your money on all the frivolous stuff. If you have it, if you can buy it twice, that means you can afford it. If you're going to be broke after you buy something and it's not going to appreciate and add value to your life, then I would suggest hold off on that, because all you're doing is trying to impress somebody else. But I can guarantee that person is not worried about you. So those are kind of decisions.
I did, it was funny. I joke about, women professional athletes and what we get paid versus men. It's just a joke. At the same time, it was a big learning experience for me because it was like WNBA was like my first real job. And when I got my check, I was like, taxes? Wait a minute. On this paper, it said this, you know? And so I didn't understand that. But I got a quick lesson in taxes. And you think you have a large amount of money in a very short amount of time. And one huge thing that I learned was that as much as my little heart wanted to, and as we talked about where we've all come from, I wanted to help take care of my family. And so, you know, the family's like, oh, Danielle, WNBA, first round draft pick, oh yeah. They thought money. And so I got a whole bunch of bills that were not mine. And I tried to take care of that. I want to take care of my grandma. They struggling over here. They got this over here. Danielle, can you send that? And I'm like, you know, the league take care of most of your expenses. So you're not thinking about it. I'm like, sure. And before I knew it, money that I made during my WNBA season, money I had earned overseas, I came home and I looked at my bank account and I was like, wow, thousands of dollars, thousands just given out to family, trying to help and be a support. I don't know if any of you all experienced that, but it was tough for me. It was hard to say no because I'm like, that's my family, like that's my cousin, you know? I can go ahead and help out with that. And so I wish I would have had someone tell me about saving, about investing, holding on to it, saying that I can't take care of everybody, because you can, even if your heart wants to. You know, it's not for you to take care of everyone else.
I'll talk about, I'm a nurse, and my family think that I'm the richest person. Like, I don't know where they think the money comes from, but even as a nurse, they think I have all the money in the family to help everybody. But he was talking about social media. I just got my email address. I've had the same email address since 1996. That's when we first got an email address. So social media, we didn't have those issues. Like, I didn't know, we didn't have anything to post. Thank you, God, that they didn't have social media when I was growing up, Lord, because there's certain things that I would not have wanted the world to know. It's certain things that you should not want the world to know. There are certain things that are on there that are not reality. And I think that growing up in a reality television society, that you all think everything that you see that's glittering, that it's gold, and it's not. These lifestyles look real good on Instagram. Like they doing it for the gram, like for real, doing it for the gram. And at home, they're suffering. So make sure that you have people in your circle who are able to tell you, hey, didn't you just eat out last week? It's okay if you eat at home this week. It's okay that you have an extra $40, but guess what? Next week, if you save that one, you'll have 80. You see what I'm saying? So just know that every single dollar that you spend, it don't come back as quick as it goes. It goes real quick. It doesn't always come back as quick as it goes out. So that's you working for that. But think about what is going to happen when you have to stop work. So if you're not on the field, you can't be on the field for the rest of your life. You can't be on the court for the rest of your life. What are you going to fall back on? And that means now I gotta leave, dang, I put all my everything in on the court, on the field. Now I gotta go ahead and get a job because I did not invest properly. Or then you face this, oh, what I'm gonna do? Like, people gonna be looking at me like, dang, you don't have no money? Like, all that money you made and you don't have any money? Make sure the people around you are helping you to make wise choices. And you don't have to have 55 people on your payroll. You don't.
Somebody should tell me that.
Like, it does not take all of that. Like, fine. At church, there's a deacon, I'm sure, that can help you, tell you what to do with your money. It does not have to be somebody that wants to take 40% of what it is that you make.
You said you went to prayer. It's like she read my mind right. That's excellent what she just said. Because, hey, when it's over, it's over. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be honest with you. I am really, really regretful that I didn't play in this era because Jesus Christ can make a lot of money. But the one thing that I really admired in this generation, I saw Rob Gronkowski from the Patriots. He retired this year, last year, after last season. But I read somewhere he has every dime of his contract still in the bank. I think he's been living off of like a shoe deal or something like that. To me, that's remarkable. Because the thing about that's important is that guess what? Hey, when it's stopped and it's over, it's over. And so he has all this money. I think that's one heck of a thing. social media. Let me tell you something. I don't tweet. I don't have Facebook, any of that stuff. I can't keep up with it. Now, my wife does. As a matter of fact, I was home last week and somebody said, hey, we saw you riding your bicycle over the holidays. But anyway, I don't do it. But listen, here's the deal about social media stuff. Number one, everybody doesn't need to know what you do. And here's the next thing, too. It can follow you. Hey, if you're being recruited, college recruiters look at that stuff. They look online, they see what's out there. What are they putting out there on social media? Hey, even forget sports in your regular job. Hey, my principal, when I want to hire a coach, the first thing she does, what's his name? So-and-so. And the first thing she does, she goes to social media to see and look on Facebook to see what she can find. And I'm sure that's the case with a lot of other professions. So be careful what you put on social media. I got kids I've seen, hey, smoking dope, smoking, all just having a good time, Kevin. I say, are you serious? Be careful what you put
That's
on
not how
social
you
media
said
because
it,
anybody can see it. Anybody can see it.
And your name on social media.
Oh.
If the name that you choose for an email address or social media cannot be said from the pulpit, that does not need to be your name.
Amen.
Okay. I just wanted to give Mr. Watt and Mr. Johnson an opportunity. If you guys want to say anything as it relates to that, anything that we've talked about, just so we can get you guys to chime in.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. First of all, Pastor, thank you. Thank you for this panel. You guys you're awesome, awesome. I just had, you hit me, Miss Fondo.
I did.
Yeah, I was an undrafted free agent, like Tracy, because I played at Bradsport, and I went on. When I signed my contract, I got a $10,000 signing bonus. I signed a 2-year contract, $29,000 the first year, $35,000 the second, and like today they making real money today. Now, reality-wise, that was real money for me back then, because that was more money I'd ever seen. And I wish I had a better education in tax structure, but that's what got me. And then learning to say no to some of my folks and things like that, but those are my peeps. All of that I said to say this. Someone told me a long time ago, it's not how much money you make that matters, how much you keep. And so I went to Kenny Houston, and Kenny sat down with me and he said, what do you need? Because see, when you get $29,000 from September to December, and then what happens after December depends on what you do with that money. But anyway, to sum this up, I took something from every one of you. And I hope that all of you student athletes in the audience have taken something from each of these panelists, because it's real. It's real. So I'll sum it up this way for me, what y'all gave me. The decisions I make right now will determine where I'll be 3 to 5 years from now. So make good choices. Listen to your mentors and your spiritual leaders. If I had done that, who knows? I like the question, what would you have done differently as a professional athlete? I wouldn't have gotten hurt. No, but it's a part of it. It's a part of it. I was able to continue playing even after I got hurt. But truly blessed to be here. Truly blessed to get all of the good insight. This place should be standing room only. Correct. But I tell you this, it's for those who want it, and that's why you're here.
And I'm gonna say this too as well, from the panelists to Mr. Johnson to as well, Mr. Waddy. Like, if y'all listen, during the season, you got paid. After the season, you had to be able to manage your money. I was blessed to have an individual like Darryl Green as my mentor. Darryl Green played 21 years in the NFL, drafted 28th pick in 1983 draft, and I lived with him. I stayed with him every summer. And he told me, he said, look here, man, What you have to do is, you need to purchase your house gonna make sure that you work. You need to invest, your house is your property. So those type of things stood with me. Really, I should have learned these type of things in college. I ain't learned these things in college. I should have learned this in high school. High school, are they teaching financial literacy in high school? So just think about some of these things. You guys get on, if y'all gonna get on YouTube and learn about real estate, learn about money management. Y'all have a panel up here. So we do this thing called Beyond the Game, right? And we go to different high schools. And we talk to individuals at different high schools. You guys have access. Pastor Hendricks gave you guys access. Y'all take advantage of it. Y'all should be pulling out y'all phones, surrounding somebody that you connected with in this room, Pastor Hendricks too as well, and trying to figure out on how can we make a connection so therefore you can be able to have somebody that played professional sports, somebody in their profession, coaches. You guys got athletic directors here. Take advantage of that. Superintendent, wow, you have the superintendent here. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of those opportunities.
Okay, so I just want to say thank you to our panel. You guys were excellent. Thank you to the audience. You guys being so attentive and listening to what has been said here. And so I think we have one question, and after this one question, we have a performance by Jonah that we're going to bring him up, and then you guys will be able to just go and have a seat.
Okay, I know y'all are trying to wrap up, but it was one thing that I know is very important to some of these guys, and that's attitude. So if just one person could speak on how a positive or negative attitude can affect you, your college, getting into college as an athlete, and abstaining your career, and how you should respect authority also.
Okay. Is it Ms. Woods? Okay, thank you, Ms. Woods. Okay, Ms. Woods, so I want to make sure, I know that we had time to answer, but there were a lot of parents and adults asking questions, and I see a lot of teenagers in here. And just remember, this is the opportunity for you guys, because we're here for you. We were invited by Pastor Hendricks to come here, but we were here for you. So we want to make sure that if you have a question, that we can answer those questions. So if I could just get one of the panelists to answer the question as it relates to attitude, having an attitude, and how far that won't take you. Oh.
So I know you've probably heard your coaches say they want to coach coachable athletes.
Yep.
You could not be the best athlete, but if you're coachable, they're going to choose the coachable kid over the one that's more athletic. Realize that somebody has to tell you, have to take direction from somebody. So either you're going to take it from your coach or you're going to take it from the police. Either you're going to take it from your principal or you're going to take it from the judge. You're going to take it from your father or you're going to take it from the prisoner in the cell next to you. But you're going to take direction from somebody.
Absolutely.
So you need to understand that's life. That's not just in high school, that's life. I have a boss. I have to have a positive attitude or my boss will make the decision to no longer employ me.
Absolutely.
You have to have a positive attitude whether you like it or not.
Yes.
Your attitude determines your altitude. So how far you want to go is determined by you.
That's absolutely correct. I'm gonna piggyback off of that because she said some powerful stuff right there. Because I know right now all of you are amazing, you're wonderful, you're outstanding in your sport. I'm telling you one thing, I never got a reality check as hard as I did until I had to sit down and watch film in front of the team. And you talk about attitude because you think you're real good, you know, until you sit down with your coach and they're critiquing every single thing about your performance. You talking about, I'm not stripping everything away, your ego, all that stuff, to where you even question, like, am I good? Like, why am I here? You know? And so your attitude and respect for authority, I had to become humble. You will have some experiences that will humble you. You hear me? And being able to receive that is what you do with it. That criticism, because as you said, you're gonna get your direction from someone, and you would hope it comes from a person that cares about you and that loves you and wants to see you succeed in life. we've only been pushed so hard in our sport because of the potential that someone saw in us. And so your attitude and how you receive things and how you take it in and what you do with that is so vital. I'm a huge champion of your mindset and having that positive attitude to know that you can speak and think and call out into your existence whatever it is that you so desire.
Let me just say this real quickly, just to get a little student participation. The first 2 students that have a question will get a $20 Chick-fil-A card.
I'm a student.
Y'all better, I'm asking.
Okay, Chick-fil-A, okay, great.
I have a question. How, like, Coach Mack-Shack is gonna love me asking this question, but how important is it to be on time?
On time?
Okay.
Or the old saying is, to be on time is to be late. To be early is to be on time. That's the old saying right there. So, which I could do better with myself, but at the same time, it's a mindset. They always say, if it's something that you really, really want, you'll make it happen, right?
Yep.
If you're just going through the motions, well, you're just gonna go through the motions, right?
Yes, sir.
Amber and I went to Dillard together, and we had chapel service.
Oh.
And if you were not at chapel 15 minutes early, you were late. And if you were late, you weren't getting in. If you came after the time, you may as well just walk back to the dorm because the door was already locked on time.
Yep.
You never know what opportunity may be there in that 10-minute time period that you have before something begins.
Yeah.
You never know who may be sitting there in the waiting room with you in that extra 15 minutes that you have. So it is very important. You have to respect your own time, and you have to respect other people's time.
Exactly.
That's a good thing in team sports. I mean, when you have somebody that shows up late, it's really a selfish act. I mean, nobody's above the team, and so that's a big thing. When you show up late, it doesn't look good. Another thing about being in the pros, let me tell you something. You show up late, and they will take your money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay? They will take your money. They got a fine system, so you show up late, guess what? Hey, they're going to take some of your money from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the things when you are a professional athlete, and one of the reasons why they do call my husband to speak and do a lot of things, because they know he's going to be on time and he's going to show up. If he commits to doing something, then he's going to be there, and they know that. And so the NFL reaches out to him a lot and like, hey, LaMarcus, can we get you to do this? And that's one of the reasons. So if people know you're dependable, you're going to be on time, and you're going to do what you're supposed to do, then they'll book you. And so with bookings come money. You know, not all the
Right.
time, but sometimes. And so, and you don't want to get that for people to say, oh, I'm not going to book him because he's late. He always late. And we don't know if he's going to show up. So that's one of the important
That
things.
accountability.
Real quick too, sometimes I get invited to some of these places, man, and it be like nothing but NFL Hall of Famers there, right? And I'm the only guy that probably played 1 year, 1.5 years, and I'm the only guy there. But you know why I'm there with these guys? You know why I'm at the table? Because I'm on time and I'm very respectful. I'm doing everything that they ask me to do, and I'm always there. That's the only reason why I'm there. And I'll take it back to what I said before. It's all about respect, being on time, doing the right thing, the relationships. That's it. That's the only thing I haven't had. I've never been to the Pro Bowl. I'm not on no NFL Hall of Fame ballot, but I'm in the same room with the NFL GM, with the president.
Okay, how did y'all deal with all the haters that try to bring you down and try to mess up your opportunities?
Yeah, I went to middle school with Danielle, so she had a lot of haters in middle school.
And they went to middle school in Fifth Ward.
Yeah, we went to
We
school in
did.
Fifth Ward.
What? It was something serious, and I'm gonna speak on it like this because I had to overcome a lot of stuff. I don't know if y'all saw when I walked up here, but the sister's tall, okay? And it took me a while. I'm on heels now, but as growing up in high school, it took me a while to embrace my height. It took me a while to embrace my skin color. It was different. And a lot of people, I didn't realize where things came from. Because I would walk in a room and I would stand out, and the only thing I wanted to do was fit in. I didn't want anybody to, notice or see me, and I would slump and all that stuff. And it's funny because as I began to embrace who I am, and really own, like, these are God-given things. You know, I came out, I'm the tallest thing in my family. No other woman, cousins, no, I'm the only one. And I'm like, but why? You know? But it was intended for me. And so when I start to embrace it, boy, whoo, when you start to let the light that's within you shine unapologetically, those haters that you're talking about, they will come. They will definitely come. And I had to get, the older I've gotten, the less I've cared about what other people perceive of me, because I know who I am. And so that's one way I was able to combat it. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, it hurt my feelings. I would walk and they'd be like, oh, she thinks she's cute. Oh, just anything they said. What about that I wasn't that good? To all types of things, the way you look, the people you're around, all that stuff. So yes, haters do come. They will come. People will see things, and really what it is, this is what I had to learn. Somebody told me that it is not what I am doing. Usually the hate that comes is a projection of the insecurities within that person. And somehow it feels good to grab hold of what you have and bring it to that level of doubt and insecurity that they have within themselves. It is not that you are a problem. It is not that something's wrong with who you are. And it's nothing wrong with being confident in what you have and your capabilities. Those things are God-given. And it's something about being confident. I didn't say cocky, I said confident in who you are as a person. So that's what I had to do, was to understand who I was, embrace that fully, not be ashamed of it, allow the light that was me, my uniqueness. No one is like you. And I had to understand no one is like me, and we can't do the things in the manner that you do it. So as haters come, let that be your fuel. I used to love it when I get on the court. I'd be like, yep, I got it. And all I did was turn that into making me, like, shrink myself. All I did was learn to turn that around and fuel me for doing bigger and better things.
Was it hard to like adapt to college ball after getting out of high school?
I'll answer it. For me, it was. It was hard for me initially because there was a different speed that these girls went at. Seeing, in high school, I'm out there, I'm Cadillacing, I'm not knowing why my coach telling me to go hard, play harder, let's go. Because I was the best at that time. Then I got to college and everybody was good. Everybody. I had to learn how to run all over again. I kid you not. I was the post player that was fast. My coach made me run with the guards because she was like, you can be faster. And that challenged me because I was like, I could beat these posts up and down the court all day. And she was like, that's what I know. Get over here with the guards. So now I had to, teach and learn because I wasn't making my time. And when you don't make your time, your team don't make the time, we got to do it over again. Mm-hmm. And so it was a struggle for me. But I had the same type thoughts when I was in high school. When I was in middle school, I was like, can I play high school ball? And I got there and I learned and I was willing to take the criticism, the teaching, and I was able to. When I was in high school, I was like, dang, can I play college ball? I don't know, these girls look good. And I got there, it was hard, I fell on my face. I kept coming to practice, I got better. And then when I was like, can I do WNBA? Like, that's like that level, could I do it? And I still, at the same time, worked hard, did what I need to do, was coachable, and got better. So yes, it was different, but it's something that you can rise.
You got a unique story too as well.
What grade are you in?
10.
So that means if you're on varsity already, that means that you need to be watching college and acting and performing like them. You never act and perform in the moment that you're in. You act and perform as to where you want to be. Mm-hmm. So you always find the next step. So for me, like I said, I didn't go to college. I had an academic scholarship. I was done playing sports when I got to college, but sports found me again. So I started playing tennis. I had never played tennis before, but I was an athlete. And he told me if I gave him a summer, he'd give me a scholarship. Guess what? I gave him a summer. Then here comes volleyball at a school that never even had volleyball before until 1999. I was the first member ever on the roster of the volleyball team at my university, and the first athlete in the history of my university to scholarship in 2 sports.
Give me some.
So you have to know right now Say you're in 10th grade and you may be on varsity now, but that means that you need to look the part of a college player. And then when you're in college, you need to look and act the part of WNBA.
I guess, yeah, the basketball girls, Pastor Henry said he guess y'all gonna share that $10 Cardi? Okay, we got y'all.
Spicy chicken sandwich. Okay.
Y'all, come on, let's give our moderators and panel a hand. Come on, y'all can do better than that. Come on, let's do better than that. And what we want to do, we want to give you guys a Greater Mount Zion shirt. This is our new logo, and we want to share that with you. You cannot cut the yard in this shirt. No mowing in the shirt. But again, y'all, let's give them another hand. If the size don't fit, y'all come back and see us. Panelists, won't y'all come stand right in front of them? Is Mr. Johnson still here? Mr. Water, won't you come up here with us? Cedric, won't you come up here also? Won't y'all stand right in front of the table and they're going to get a picture of you guys? Excuse me. One more time, y'all. Let's give them another hand. Take your seats real quick. There's one thing I want to do. I want to share a couple of things with you. You know this is a church, and be something else if I don't give you all the word, right? So I want to share something real quickly with you. First thing, if y'all would put that first slide up there, please. So I want to spend just a few minutes sharing just a couple of things with you. And this is going to help you, coaches. This is going to help you also with your team. So the thought I want you to remind you of today is find your purpose, write the vision for your life. To remember that. I want you to go to the next scripture, next slide. It's Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 and 3. It said, "And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it may tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." Everybody have a vision and a purpose for their life. You need to be writing the vision for your life now. Not 5 years from now, but you need to write it now. Remember that scripture. Go also to Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It said, "Trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not into thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path." You can tell this panelists that came here and the moderators, they had a strong connection with the Lord. There's a whole lot of people that don't have a strong connection with the Lord. They have a success also. But if you have a connection with the Lord, your success increases many times over. The next slide, Romans 10. You might want to know, what does it take for me to have this relationship with the Lord? Romans 10, verse 9 and 10, it said, if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thy heart that God has raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. We're living here on earth right now, but you're going to leave this earth one day. You're either going to go to heaven or you're going to go to hell. I wish that all of us will go to heaven. It said, for with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. The 13th verse says, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Whoever call, no matter who you are, if you have a mouth, you can call on the name of the Lord will save you. You want to have a relationship. John 10:10. This is the thing that these guys was trying to tell you on the panel. It said, a thief cometh but to steal and to kill and destroy. That's the devil. He want to steal from you, kill you, or destroy you. So many people are dying young because the devil knew that they was going to be a great person. So he died young. The other part of this, Jesus Christ is saying, I am come that thou might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. So God wants us to have an abundant life. Everybody should have an abundant life. This last scripture, Romans 8:28. And it said, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them which are called according to his purpose. Everybody have a purpose. Everybody have a purpose. You can find out what your purpose is. Why don't you go to that vision card? So, coaches, students, whoever you are, I challenge all the people, young people in my church, to have a vision card. You don't have to have this one. If you want a copy of it, you can have it. You can put your school logo on it. You can put your own initials on it, whatever you want to put on it. But the vision for, and I'll write my name, Roland Hendricks. My vision is, what is the vision for your life in the next 5 years, the next 10 years? What is the vision for your life? What your purpose is? What's your vision? Let's say your vision wants to be an NBA player, and that's your vision. And then you're going to look in 2020, and you're going to have, go back to the other slide. So you're going to go back to 2020, and you're going to show what your goals are for 2020, what your goals are for 2021, and then you're going to show what your goals are for 2022, 23, 24, 25. And then you want to make a note to yourself. What's the note to myself? I'm not going to allow no stupid stuff to happen in my life. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to do the things that's important in life. Things that are not important, I'm not going to do. That's some things you can write note to yourself. But everybody have a vision. You need to write your vision down. You don't have to use what I'm saying, but you need to have something that you need to put down. All you guys have a vision, right? So all these guys have a vision. And if they want it to be something special, they have to put something on paper. They have to write it down. I want you to write it down. What's for your vision might not be for your friend. Your vision is your vision. All right? Okay. At this time, I want to invite Jonah. You want to introduce him? You can hand him that mic.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I would like to invite Jonah, a good friend of mine, sings an excellent song, raps an excellent song, just always a blessing, goes around different churches, rapping this song and introducing y'all Jonah. Well, blessed day.
Amen, amen. Can we give God a hand clap of praise all over the building? Oh, I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful. Thank you, Pastor, for having me. And I love to give people honor. And I just want to honor Pastor. Thank you for having me. And I want to honor the Newmans because there are two people who it seems like they wake up. I know for a fact they wake up in the morning and the question they ask is, how can I help someone else? That's the definition of a real team player, someone who looks into individuals' lives and their joy is helping individuals. So I sincerely mean that, and I thank you guys for allowing me to come today. And I honor the athletes because you guys, examples and the advice that you get. I'm taking the advice in, even though I'm not a student or an athlete, I'm listening like this is some wonderful advice that we can have. And one of the students actually said, what do you do about people hating you? A lot of the kids, they have to deal with bullying, and the bullying is so severe. But I'm gonna teach you a chant that you deal with that'll make you feel good on the inside. Everybody stand up. Let's stand up. Let's stand up. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun real quick. I want you to repeat this after me. I'm too blessed, to be stressed. I want you to say it like you mean it though. I'm too blessed to be stressed. So when sometimes you'll have stress when people say, oh man, you ain't good enough, you can't do this, you can't do that. Or you'll find that next year somebody came in that was real good in your position and it'll stress you out a little bit. But if you realize that you belong to God, God can still sit you in the place that you were in. So don't get intimidated when you belong to God. Everything comes from God. So one more time, I'm too blessed to be stressed. And before I go into this song, I'm gonna tell you how it happened. I was having a horrible day. You know, have you had those days where it seemed like everything is going wrong? So out of my anger, I was driving and I just started saying, have a blessed day. You know how you get so mad where you start growling or you telling your brother and sister, get out of my room. You know, you have those situations. But then it started I kept saying this, I'm too blessed, because I realized when you started to declare things as a child of God, you could change the direction of your day. So I started saying, I'ma have a blessed day. Hey, I'm too blessed to be stressed. I started thinking about my life, and this gave birth to this song. Here we go.
Yeah. Turn this all the way up.
Turn it all the way up. Give me something. Give me a little bit of volume on it. Here we go.
Listening to the radio.
Blessed day.
Blessed day.
That's how the chorus went.
Let's go.
Put your hands together. Hey, I'ma have a blessed day. Hey, I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. You're too blessed to be stressed.
No matter what come my way, I'ma have a blessed day. And no matter what people say, I'ma have a blessed day.
No matter what people say, just have a blessed day.
My brothers, my sisters, I pray you have a blessed.
I pray you have a blessed day no matter what. This is your year. I just want to encourage you. Can I rap to you for a second? Here we go. Hey.
Even though we ain't perfect, we still serve a purpose. Name a person who is.
So when they tell you worthless, tell them God think different. It's like we try to find a light by examining the dark while we examining each other. God's examining the heart. Cause we don't exercise our bodies, but I lift our physical fitness. Cause we take our mouth and run them about everybody's business. Don't you worry about gossip. Don't be worried what people say. I ain't stressing, God is blessing. I'ma say that with me. Hey, I'ma have a blessed day. It make you feel better. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. You're too blessed to be stressed. I say, It was in my mind when I got to school. Hey, I'm too blessed to be stressed. It'll make you run faster. It'll make you stronger. It'll make you hit the weights harder. I say,
no matter what come my way, I'ma have a blessed day.
I start singing to myself.
What people say, I'ma have a
no matter what it's said, no matter what it's thought.
My brothers, my sisters, I pray you have a
You gotta want a blessed day for everybody else. Just trust God and obey and have a blessed day. Check this out. Hey. I'ma pray for you. When you pray for me, seem like trouble always try to wait for me. But whenever ever trouble try to wait for me, seem like God always make a way for me. I'ma pray for you. When you pray for me, seem like trouble always try to wait for me. Whenever ever trouble try to wait for me, seem like God always make a way for me. Sick out my chest in distress and confess I'm blessed. Look to the heavens, fall to your knees and make a request. Say chest in distress and confess you are blessed. Look to the heavens, fall to my. I leave you with this in your mind. I'ma have a blessed day. When they start talking about you, hey, I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too. Keep that in your heart and in your spirit when you wake up in the morning on your way to the game. I'ma have a blessed day. Even if it's football, I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. You're too blessed to be stressed. Amen.
Come on, y'all, let's give Jonah a hand. Last thing, we're going to do a couple more things, and then we're going to let you go. Dare not close this service without praying for someone, somebody that needs prayer. You need us to pray for your future. Just pray for anything. Whatever you need us to pray for, we want to pray for. So anybody have a desire for prayer on today? All right. Let's give the Lord a hand. This is the time where Greater Mount Zion members, they come and they give toward the house of the Lord. If you're a visitor, you want to do so, you can do so at the same time also. So I'm going to ask our deacons if they will come at this time, and we're going to receive this morning's tithes and offering. And this is for the members of Greater Mount Zion. Anyone that's not a member of Greater Mount Zion, if you want to, you're welcome to also. We have lunch for everybody that's here on today. If you can hear my voice, you can eat. Everybody standing, we're going to pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. God, we thank you for the blessings you continue to give us.